10,000. 10,000. Yeesh. Okay. What's up everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to this commentary playthrough of the Final Fantasy X Pbirdman mod. Now to set this session off, I want to have another look at the Mr. T / Don Tonberry boss battle. So probably, based on how I've edited things, you would have seen me have some really frustrating and difficult attempts against that guy. And the main reason, I later found out, I didn't realize while I was recording, but the main reason why that battle is so difficult at these particular levels is because the knife attack that it has is a rank 1, which basically means that even though I've got 96 agility, you know, it's too difficult, it's too fast, you can't keep up with it, and not only that, it apparently has basically 1,000,000 HP as well. So during the attempts that you would have watched up until this point, I didn't even actually get that close. So you would have seen, like, compared to everything else which I've been able to beat so far, we had one where I've not even been able to get close, and there's a very limited number of options in terms of things you can do to try and win that battle. So I spoke to Pbirdman, we had a little discussion, and of course, again, as is the case with these things, they're not all supposed to be exactly the same difficulty. You know, it doesn't have to be completely balanced within each sort of segment, but he did agree that he does want it to be like a difficult battle because it's a singular battle, and it's also the Don Tonberry. But also, he didn't want it to be that difficult, so he's lowered the attack to rank 2, which is going to make it slower, and that should hopefully give me a few more turns in between to hopefully do some more damage. So let's get into it, and we will see if that has made enough of a difference, or if it swung things too much the other way. So let's just see the Mark II version of this particular enemy. Probably going to keep things as they are. It's been a little while since I recorded, maybe it's been like a week or so. So I need to just get my bearings back again, make sure I've got everything right. Let's go for it and see what happens. Okay. Alrighty. I'll probably just go straight in again with the attack reel stuff and just unload the overdrives as I have been throughout. So keep the strategy fairly similar and see how we fare. Okay, hit the first attack reels of the session. That's a good start. But again, just bear in mind that we have 1,000,000 HP to take out. There's a few more things I'm going to mention once the Tasty Tonic happens, but we'll wait until it actually does before I get into it. I didn't want to spend too much time talking at the start of the session. Okay, let's go for it. Okay, hit that first time too. So a nice 180,000 damage pretty much to start, I'm thinking. Well, actually it was about 8,000. Yeah, similar, 150. 160, let's say, to be safe. But at least we got 2 overdrives back pretty instantaneously, which is good. So here comes the very difficult karma to deal with. Okay. Okay. Here we go. I'm gonna speed things up here. Okay, get as many turns as we can before that knife attack starts coming. Okay. So, the Tasty Tonic is something that was incredibly powerful. I'm going to try and remember everything that it did. The extensive list should be, there is a 50% chance of it using Auto Haste, Auto Protect, Auto Shell, Auto Reflect, and Auto Regen. Alongside all of that, it casts 3 times cheer, focus, aim, reflex, and luck. So that's what Tasty Tonic can do, and depending on which assortment of those things happen, so the cheer stuff that I mentioned at the end, that's guaranteed, but of the more standard buffs that I listed before, the auto statuses, there's a 50% chance of any one of those happening. Now that meant that there was a 50% chance that this guy ends up in auto haste. So when you coupled the rank 1 knife attack with auto haste, it basically became impossible. This thing became like something you'd need, you know, close to maximum agility and maybe auto haste or that kind of thing to keep up with. And that would mean that relative to the other enemies in the Veterans run, I think it would be just too powerful, far too powerful in comparison. And you guys saw, I mean, with auto haste and rank 1, and we didn't even factor in auto regen, which made matters even worse. So auto regen plus auto haste was already just forget about it. Auto regen, again, you saw was just too powerful. Because of the rank 1 attack, and because this guy has 1,000,000 HP, it just heals so quickly that you cannot keep up. It's not really possible. And there's a 50% chance that it gets itself protect as well, which halves your damage output. So if you like stack all these buffs on top of each other, and the percentage rate at which you're going to encounter them, this battle just becomes almost impossible with the stats that I have. So that's why I said to Pbirdman, I think you need to tweak things a little bit when it comes to this. Ideally, what I said to him, like in an ideal world, what would be great is if you could have like a regen that runs out. So if he had a regen that lasted for 20 turns, but if you toughed it out, then you could start to do damage, then that would be cool. But he said the way that regen works in the game is that there is no in-between. So either you give something auto regen, or you give it a finite regen of, let's say, 20 turns, but when you do that, it becomes dispellable. So basically the regen that he has in this version of the patch is one that can be dispelled. So it doesn't turn into auto regen basically, because he's not able to do it in that way. And you guys have seen that with auto regen, he basically recovers like 12 to 15,000 every single turn that you take, and that doesn't factor in all the times you're dying, and the protect and the shell, and the cheer and the focus and all that kind of stuff. So that's why he needed to find a way to sort of rebalance things a little bit, and that's what he's done. So that's the deal with that stuff. You can dispel the regen that he has. If you don't dispel it, or you know, you're someone, if a player plays this blind, let's say they haven't been watching the series, but they download the patch to play for themselves, they might not realize that it's dispellable, and for those guys they'll have to deal with 10 turns of auto regen before it runs out. The final thing to note is that the auto haste percentage has fallen to 20% now. So auto protects and all the other ones are 50%, but auto regen specifically is down to 20%, because that's the one where if that does happen, it's almost game over pretty much. But I think it's good that he left it in there, because if you're the kind of person that's an even more hardcore challenge player, or you do want to fight it in that particular variant for like your own sort of sense of satisfaction or challenge, it's still there. You can keep fighting it until it turns to auto haste, and then you can have the achievement of saying that I beat Mr. T when it got into auto haste as well. But that's totally up to you. So this time it didn't work, thankfully. Now the only thing left to see is how much of a difference does it make to drop the knife attack down to rank 2 instead of rank 1. So that's the deal at the moment. For Riku, I'm just going to wait. And we'll unload some more overdrives. Actually, I should have dispelled there. I forgot. My bad. So yes, because he's got 3 times cheer now, it's doing less damage. I think he lowered it to 1 time actually, not 3. I mean, with 3 times reflex, you can even miss this guy. The only thing he might need to do now is to potentially change the overdrive mode, because when you go to stoic, if he's slower, like noticeably slower now, that might mean that we can get to spam overdrives much more quickly than we could previously. But it remains to be seen. I mean, if this version does turn out to be something I can beat in like 5 to 10 minutes, then he'll have to find a middle ground or keep it closer to the first version that you guys would watch. But I was curious, and I also wanted you guys to see how much of a difference it was going to make to reduce the attack from rank 1 to rank 2. So we don't even need to entrust here. So I think stoic is something that might need to change here, so that you actually end up not relying on your overdrives too much. But the auto regen is gone, like I said. But of course, because you die after every single use of your overdrive, or every single attack pretty much, you're going to spend a lot of time. It's still going to take you a while to do, because you don't have the auto haste. Okay. So again, Riku's job, as always, is just to get people hasted back up again. And now we can continue. So the knife attack is going to start very soon. But I'm already down to about 50,000 damage now. Well, closer to 55, 60, but still. Given that it has 1,000,000, this is still going to take a while. We need about 8 or 9 sets of these overdrives in order to be able to win. Okay, there we go. First stab. Now, because Karma's gone, we won't be able to get the overdrives back so quickly. Right, Riku got a turn here. Let's see what happens when... Okay. Start playing the Entrust game again. Right, in terms of turns, let's see what happens here. Okay, now we're starting to get some turns. So normally with rank 1, Tidus and Waka would not have got a turn here pretty much. So it makes a noticeable difference. I think that's one of those things that a lot of players, myself included, just never really notice when it comes to the CTB, because it's so hard to tell the difference between a move's rank and it causing a delay. So you look at the CTB here, and it looks like we're gonna get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns. So let's do it. Let's see how many turns we do get. So it's supposed to be 5. Riku dies. Let's say that's 2 turns first gone. We should still get about 3, but we don't. We only get 2 turns, and that's because the CTB assumes that the boss is going to use a rank 3 move. And because it's a rank 2 move, actually that turn comes more quickly than what the CTB shows. So it's you know, effect-wise it's similar to it causing us a delay, but instead it's actually it's a lower rank move, which means it comes more quickly. I feel like at this stage I should probably change back to these, because I will need to rely on my individual attack more. Same for Waka. Even with the auto protect, we can still do over quad 9, so that's not as bad. Okay. One thing I am curious about is basically he made the knife attack a magic attack instead of a physical one, so that you can't use Sentinel to protect against it. I do want to see someone get hit that has shell. Still 27,000, I think. Yeah, so I wondered if maybe for that reason, if you were to shell and focus, you could tank it, but I don't think so. Only 11,000. Yeah, so because it has 1,000,000 HP, it's still going to take a while. But it's definitely going to be possible now. I'll entrust in Waka. It's just such a brutal attack. I think every time I get a chance, I'm still gonna... I might be able to keep characters alive for a little bit longer now, due to the rank 2, so it might be worth speeding up where possible. This battle is a good test of whether you're on point with your overdrives or not. If you're one of these people that struggles with Tyz's overdrive or Walkers, which is obviously perfectly reasonable, I mean not everyone can do it very consistently, then this battle is going to become really tedious for you as you try to make your way through it. I mean, there's not too much I can do here. I mean, I did see 27,000, so there's just not much we can do. 26. Okay, more of this. So I think, like, even with all of this stuff, it's still going to take probably about 15-20 minutes to beat this guy. Which, given that it's a singular enemy, I think is fine. And remember, there's a 20% chance of auto haste, so if you still want more challenge than what you're seeing here, then you're always welcome to keep going until you find the auto haste variant and try and take that one down. Oof. The fact that it went critical was why I just did not assume that it was a magic base attack. But it's smart. He needs to find ways to disable Sentinel in some of these battles, because it can get a little bit broken. Look at them statuses. I mean, Tyz isn't doing that much less damage than Walker, so I think it's worth it. But I think the million HP is a good idea in this particular version, because if he still had 480, then he could be taken out pretty quickly. But with a million, there's work to do still. The only thing I could advise to maybe slow this guy, to slow us down a little bit more when you're fighting it, is potentially some sort of counter attack when you use an overdrive that hits everybody. It could just be a status type one, it could be like a Mega Graviton or something, I don't know. But that could definitely make a difference. I think what this Monster Arena so far is probably showing you is that the better your stats get and the better your equipment gets, the less an enemy can really hurt you with singular attacks. The only way it can do that is if it's like Mark 1 of the Tonberry. Oh, come on. Where it's just so quick that it basically turns a singular attack into a multi-party attack anyway. But usually if you've got Auto Phoenix and you have the agility to deal with it, singular attacks, no matter how devastating they are, then they're just not going to cause a problem for you. So that's why it's difficult to balance the game at higher levels for enemies that don't have attacks that hit everyone. Okay, she's been entrusted a fair bit, she's going to run out of MP soon. But this is also a perfect example of why this game is just so hard to balance as well when it gets to this sort of stage. Like, I went from getting absolutely nowhere to not being able to deal with it. I mean, I think potentially, I'm just thinking, let's just say, you know, you're looking at this and you're thinking, okay, this has become too easy now. How could you rebalance it again? So if you were to give it auto regen back, let's say, then the battle doesn't really become any harder, it just takes longer to do. And again, I think that just makes things more boring rather than making it a better battle. So instead of needing, let's say, 20 overdrives, you're going to need 50 overdrives. Oof. And I don't think that makes it a better battle. So I think it's going to be more about potentially trying to find something to slow the player down and keep them on their toes in a different way. Either that, or you just leave it as it is and concede the fact that you can't make every single battle like the same in terms of having like area of effect attacks and statuses and all that kind of stuff. You just got to mix it up. Yeah, just so many chocobo wings get used, it's ridiculous. I'm gonna have to bribe for some more at the end of this battle anyway, so screw it. Just gotta get it done. Okay, that's 2 more overdrives. I mean, I feel like I'm surely about 60-70% of the way here. I mean, without the overdrives, your damage output is so slow. It's like 10,000 per hit, so you can imagine how long it's going to take if you can't use your overdrives properly. So I take back what I said about Stoic. I think if you change the Stoic overdrive mode, it's going to take so long, it's going to get really boring. You just got to live with it. I think it's better this way. Okay. I don't mind Riku being delayed from the use of Hasker. But that heightened MP usage is just such a bastard. But that maximum cap on MP is such a bastard. But that maximum cap on MP is such a bastard, it's really started to become more noticeable now. For the storyline, it kind of disappeared after a time, but it's now that we need to use more stuff like Entrust, Sentinel, Hasker across long battles, you can really see it have more of a negative impact. Curious to see if you can Osmose. Oh, it's got Reflect. God damn it. Oh, we did it. There we go. Okay. So yes, this is the Mark II version of Mr. T, and he's definitely much more manageable with these sort of stats. Like I say, for an extra challenge, you can go for the auto haste version, and I guess I'll talk to Pbirdman to see if there's maybe one more sort of trick that he can throw in to slow players down or to make it a little bit more difficult with this particular variant. But I think dropping it to rank 2 was the right move. And auto regen not being permanent, I think, is also a right move, because the way that battle played out, I think if he had auto regen, it would have taken me another 20 minutes, I think, to kill it, and just like the battle wouldn't look any different. It would just play out for 20 minutes longer, and I don't think that's a particularly good thing. And we've already had auto regen battles that have been like really tanky up until this point already, so I'm perfectly happy to leave it as it is. But you guys obviously feel free to share your thoughts, and Pbirdman can decide exactly which variant or anything different he wants to do for the public release. So, I think, let's check everything again. Okay. Yeah, only used 27 Phoenix Downs that time, that's better. I got a bribe for some Chocobo Wings again. I forget how much HP this thing had. It's not going to show me, is it? Shit, I need to quickly look at this. I think it was up to like 20,000 or something. I'm just going to try 400,000 gil, see what happens. Because I'm hacking in gil at this stage, I don't really care. Okay, there we go. How many chocobo wings for our 400,000 gil? 14? What? That sucks. That's something that's probably going to change for the final version. I don't agree with 400,000 gil earning you 14 chocobo wings. I don't think that's right. But for now, because like I say, I'm hacking in the gil, so I don't care too much. I'm just going to do what it takes to get through. Ambush, really? Gonna try 440, see how much it gives for that. In case it's up to 22,000, I don't think it is, but let's see. 18, yeah. Okay, well it's enough for the next battle or two anyway, hopefully we'll manage. Healing water 68 will manage. Chocobo 38, 35, okay, that's cool. Let's give the next one a go. Okay, it's been a long time. I spent probably like 90 minutes to 2 hours on Mr. T alone. Finally, opposites attract. What are these opposites, I wonder? Ah, okay. Right. Jumbo, Flan, and Juggernaut. Oof. This is horrid. I mean, which one do you take out first? Let's just see what the battle looks like first, and then we'll just go from there. I'm not going to start using up resources until I figure out what's going on. Pep up. Oh god, I hate pep up. 37,600. That's nice. Dispel. Okay. Waka already has auto protect, so maybe we'll set about tanking him up a bit first. Be curious to see what we can survive here. I don't think I'm going to Sentinel at this stage. Let's just see what we can survive. Salvo. Is there still fire damage, I wonder? 10,000. 10,000. Yeesh. Okay. I wonder if that's still fire-based. Or has he made it non-elemental? Like, it looks like fire, but it might be non-elemental. Yeah, so it's stuck on Stoic from the previous battle, but... Okay, let's have another look. I mean, the first decision to make is which one do we focus our attacks on. I mean, logically it feels like it should be Juggernaut because we can all hit it, but it might not be the right logic. I think Hyper Null might work better for starters. So I won't worry about the pep up too much for now. I'm going to entrust in Riku so I can use an overdrive. Special. This is enough, right? I hope so. Let's hope it's enough. Yes, it is. Okay. Good. Okay, let's go for the Hyper Null. This is a good way to find out if it's elemental or not. And even if it isn't, with 5 times focus, we should be able to bring it under quad 9. Right, everyone has Shell. Okay, they're both going to get a turn. Let's see what happens here. Stormy Frenzy. Immune. 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 5, 6. Okay. Yeah, it's non-elemental. And we just about survived it. Oof. Wow. Okay. But that's only because the Stormy Frenzy, well, didn't hit everybody. We had the immunity, that's why. Okay, this is a quicker move, so I'll just use that. Okay. Let's see. Probably not going to work, but worth a shot. 7,000. And again, I think their turns are set up in a way where they always go back to back. That's tough. Let's put some Reflect on and see how we do. Might help, you never know. Let's see if Jumbo Flan's still immune to physical damage. If it is, I'm pretty certain that means we have to take out Juggernaut first. I don't see why he'd remove the immunity that it had. Okay, he has. That's interesting, actually. That's very interesting. Okay. Right, let's see how we do here. It's going to cast on itself, right? Yeah, shit. That's not going to help. And is it just going to keep using Salvo every time? Oh, it's immune to that, but not immune to overdrives? And that's a death. Yeesh. Okay. Well, this ain't looking good. The only reprieve is that they're not hugely quick. So that could be a saving grace. But we gotta... Just thinking, even with Shell, it's not enough. I need the focus and the Shell to survive this. The salvo. And if I'm dying this frequently, that's not good. The only thing that gets me is that Juggernaut doesn't seem to have immunity. Just thinking, is there anything I can do? I don't think there's much I can do against this guy. Oof. But at least the turns have been split here, so the turns being split means it's not quite so bad. Okay, Crush Spike twice in a row there. I've got to see if there's a pattern as well. He used Salvo, then Crush Spike twice. Okay. It's an interesting battle. I like the combination as well. Like I said, the only thing that really gives us a shot here is that they're slow. And that's something I could potentially take advantage of, but... yeah, I need like a magic defense version of this, I think. Yeah, I don't think any of these are going to help, really. There just isn't much I can do with Riku, attackingly, I think. She doesn't know focus either, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm not going to do anything. I mean, Juggernaut has a huge amount of HP, which is going to make him very difficult to kill. I think, let's not get too excited here. Let's just see what Lulu can do against our friend, the Juggernaut. If she can do some big damage with Flare, then we might be in with a shot, but her magic isn't really that huge. Miss. Okay, well, that's very weird. Very, very weird. Missed everything. Just evading everything now. I'm playing Final Fantasy VI where we've got magic evasion, but I've not seen... magic be evaded. Oh, there you go. Wait a minute. Armor has been broken. Okay, now we're in business. I do want to see if Lulu can survive the salvo. Her magic defense is very high relative to the others. Kieron R. Oh, we can break the damage limit with its cure. That's insane. Wow, I've never seen a cure like that before. That's super cool. Whoa. Okay. But, oh wait a minute. 15,000. How? I swear I did. I think Kieron R gets rid of armor break. I think that's what's happening. That surely is what's happening. Maybe with a focus we can survive here. Let's see. Yep. Oof. Wow. Wet Frenzy. Oh. There you go. Got wiped out. So the Kieron R was very interesting there. That's something I've got to look a bit further into. I don't think there's much point buffing here, because you die so frequently that I don't think that's going to help. And magic didn't help either. It's funny, I can kind of get her to this bit so I can use null spells, but I might just do that. I mean, of course, at the moment I can raise my stats if I want, but I just want to give you guys like a sort of a baseline to see what can be done with these particular stats before I try and go on to the next level. Just thinking, is there anything I can equip that would make things better? Magic counter. I mean... I think just a good old... I'm just thinking Crush Spike is probably still too strong, even if I go Death Proof here. And I need the Auto Phoenix, so... yeah, I think ultimately I'll probably still have to go for this. I'm thinking I might change Riku to Auron for this particular battle. He does have a Death Proof. That's what I'll do, I think. Like, his weapon isn't ideal, but let's give this a go. The more armor breaks I can get on there, the better. So it's going to be a battle to try and take down Juggernaut if I can. And again, haste is very important here. That's the biggest advantage that we have over these guys, is our speed. I've got to try and make it count. Let's just use an auto life on one of these guys, and she can auto Phoenix the other. I just need to keep them alive after this first salvo. But the fact that Lulu can just take a salvo and survive is just amazing. Yeah, that's basically... That's what we've got to watch out for. That particular combination is extremely tough to deal with. I'm just wondering if I have Reflect, can I deal with that? So let me just go straight back into the spell. I do want to test that. I didn't notice if it cast it on itself first, because I'm busy like looking at the name. And it seems to be a random as well, by the way, the frenzy. The trouble is here that our magic defense is so low that shell is not enough. You need the focuses to survive. Just look at that speed. She came in and she's just like nowhere. Okay, let me just try and get shell on everybody. Let's just give this a go anyway. She can put 2 focuses in. That might just about be enough to keep some people alive. And I think I'm going to change to this one as a test. Okay. Let's see if 2 focus is enough to survive this particular onslaught. Cold Frenzy first. So that's a nice benefit there. Okay, so now both Lulu and Tidus, I think, survive the salvo. 8,900. Okay, so with 2 focuses you can definitely survive. That's a good sign. Now, depending on their move choice, that's how they desync. So right now they're in perfect sync, but we can break that. I'm going to go Death Proof again. Basically, I feel like if I can survive the Crush Spike, then that means that I should be able to tank this. The fact that she's been silent sucks. Does she have a death proof as well? She does. But I mean, that thing is going to use some kind of... For now, let's just try and survive with... Let me toss a Tetra Elemental, actually. On Waka. I'm just experimenting with ways to potentially stay alive at the moment, more than anything else. Okay, so it should be Crush Spike coming next. Let's see what kind of damage we're talking here. And that will inform some further decisions. Poor Waka. Now, of course, if it starts using Salvo repeatedly, then we're in trouble anyway, but we'll have to try and bank on the fact that it won't. Attack. It went critical for 24,000. I think Tyres can survive that. So we're kind of on our way here. I mean, this is definitely looking possible. Speed it up again. Yeah, gonna have to sacrifice Riku again here, but let's just see if we can keep on surviving like this. Dispel, oh no. That sucks. It seems to go critical really often for some reason. So it's used attack twice now. Again, we don't have auto haste, so this dispel works perfectly against us, unfortunately. But again, they are slow, so we can recover. But you're seeing how quickly I'm burning through the Chocobo wings here. Unfortunately, these buffs are a must, so there's not too much I can do about it. I'm waiting for Riku to get an overdrive so I can use Hyper Novel. Okay, now let's go to Sentinel and use another focus. Okay. Ah, come on. I think it must be like, it must have a detector to know how many positive buffs you have. Okay, that's good. That's good. Oh, no overdrive still? Come on. Yeah, so I think when everyone's in haste it doesn't do it, but I think when there's enough like positive buffs, then it starts to do it. I think let's dispel this guy. I mean, we're starting to make a little bit of headway here, so at least I'm staying alive at the moment. Lulu's got the elemental protection that I don't think Shell is too important for her, so let's just try and roll with this for now. Gonna have to just Sentinel for now. He's got the Death Proof too, remember, so that could work. Okay. This is probably 5 focuses now, surely. Right, okay. Whoa, each one has a status attached to it as well. That's really interesting. Well done, Titus. Okay. Well, we're hanging in there for now, but once it uses Salvo, things are going to change once again. Let's try and go for that armor break again. But so far, Titus is doing a mighty fine job. Now, Riku has slightly better magic defense than the others, so maybe with a shell alone she can survive. Let's just heal up. Okay, get the star curtains in as well. Right, now we roll it. Back to Sentinel. I think only Titus has haste at the moment. Okay, here we go. Stormy Frenzy. I don't know why it did 2000. Is her shell gone? I think that's why. It's choosing to use attack at the moment, which I'm happy. Oh, 82,000. Okay, let's go. Oh, for God's sake! For God's sake. I just hate seeing that boy miss. I really do. I mean, doesn't Hyper Null give you 5 times aim as well? I'm just worried about Dispel, so I'm not gonna give Lulu Shell at the moment. I'm just going to quickly read what Hyper Null does, as well as 5 stacks of cheer and focus. Okay, fine. It doesn't give you aim, unfortunately. I'm going to bring Waka in. I'm going to sacrifice him a little bit here. Oh, he's... Of course he's bloody silenced. Fine. For this turn, we'll just have to let it go. Let's see what a double cast Ultima does here. Yeah, the reflect shouldn't matter, right? Ultima always scares me. It just feels like maybe it can reflect. I don't know. Okay, a nice 38 1,000 there. Oh, Jumbo Flan brings back memories, man. Bringing out Anima, using pain. Another cold frenzy. Ah, that's unlucky. If it's a salvo here, then we die. Regardless of that move. No. Okay, he survives Crash Spike, and he does good damage back, so that's what we want to see. It's looking good so far. Okay. Again, a lot of this stuff hinges on being able to keep hitting. Just not getting enough turns. But I'm going to keep being patient in Sentinel here. I'm not going to take the risk. Okay. Here we go again. It's one of the elements that you can't protect against. That's a shame. The salvo comes now. No, okay. I don't know what the salvo is based on, but we're doing okay for now. Just going to use a turbo ether here. Keep it simple. Okay, got another move. Okay, we're doing good. We are doing good. I'm going to get a hit in while I can. While the go in is good. Is anyone missing anything important here? Shell Protect still has. Okay, special Sentinel, bring Riku back. Okay. Not Bless Gem. Hopefully he uses a frenzy that Lulu can heal from. I mean, she guards against 3 elements. Oh, for God's sake. This is just bad luck right now. Wow. Wow. Speaking of bad luck, that was ridiculous. Okay, fine. Thankfully she can get back up to speed fairly quickly relative to everybody else. So let's just keep going here. We're doing well. No need to panic quite yet. Okay. So as long as Tyus is in Sentinel, Lulu doesn't have to defend against any physical attacks. Just have to watch Tyus' MP here. Yeah, so she doesn't need her death proof anymore, to be honest. Let's just double check what she does have. Fire, water, ice. Just use one of those, damn it. Alright, let's see how we do. Ah, there's that Dispel. Fuck. Okay. Still using attack, thankfully, though. Surely it can't have a huge amount of HP left. Still going to keep at least Titus buffed here. Okay. Let's bring in Waka for another big hit. I mean, surely we've got to be close here. I'm going to toss a Tetra Elemental onto Waka. It might save him. Maybe. Sentinale. Okay. Screw it, just use the healing water. Right, this is a big one. Yep, it's a big one. I think only Lulu's going to reasonably be able to survive that. Okay, even on a critical, we still survived it. But unfortunately, Waka ran out of haste at a really shitty time. Let's see if this gets him another turn. It does. Yeah, it makes a big difference. Good. I think we're closing in on this. This thing just won't die, though. It's another one of those. I feel like I should give this a shot in terms of... Tech Taste Shell. Still has them all, right? Okay. Okay, heal up. Only one of them has a turn here because... Okay, so because Jumbo Flan used Flare, the turns have gone out of sync, so this works really well for me now. Oh god. Shitty Kuraja. I don't have much choice but to keep trying to get the armor break. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so okay. So Kuraja is annoying for that particular reason. Son of a... Gotta stay in Sentinel here. Might try and swap Riku back in to give Titus a shell. Oof. Yeah, if this is a salvo, at least Lulu survives. Yeah, so Titus and Lulu survive here. Okay, that was mighty important. That was crucial. But now we have to put in work to try and armor break again. Okay. No, I need him to be able to Sentinel. Just so I don't get stuck further down the line, I'm gonna do this now. Then again, hold on. Just thinking these guys all die from a salvo anyway, without focus. Then again, actually Riku might not. Ah, that Kuraja's definitely rebalanced things again. Okay, well survived. Unfortunately, it's not the kind of thing that you can magic counter. I think I'm going to go for the armor break here still. I need to do it. Oh, I did it. Okay. Okay, that was big. That was huge. So it should still be immune, right? Okay. But I remember the overdrive doing damage, which was nice. So now we can go to Lulu, and it's time for her to run the show. But this is exactly why I needed Lulu to have a break damage limit weapon, otherwise this battle just doesn't work. The battle just takes forever. Where is it? Star Curtain. So unfortunately this arsehole has Dispel, so that's going to be annoying, but I feel like the battle should be won here. It's just a matter of time, and obviously I need a lot of MP, but one way or another we're going to get there. But I do want to see how much damage these overdrives are going to do, so let's wait for it. And I feel like there might be some sort of phase switch, like it could do something really dangerous at some point, so I've got to be careful. I'm going to double cast Flare instead for a bit more MP efficiency. 30,000 a pop is not too bad, and we haven't used 5 times focus. She was killed previously. Let's just see how much we do with this anyway. Yeah, its defense is basically like 255. So it's not worth it. Okay, can Lulu survive the flare? If she can, then we're pretty much sorted, I think. Yuna. I'm going to bring in Yuna just to do these, I think. Oh no. Well, this doesn't matter actually. Yeah, we'll just keep the girls out, I think, here. Let's see how much Lancet does. Okay, she gets a lot of MP back, that definitely helped. So now it's just making sure, I guess if a character gets hit 4 times in a row, they are vulnerable to dying, so I need to still be careful here. Okay. So hold on, wait a minute. Okay. I need to get focuses in as well, but for now I'll have to wait till Riku has her overdrive. Should be just one more turn. Yeah, shouldn't be able to kill us with any of this stuff, really. But just to be absolutely sure. Okay. I mean, is it worth... She doesn't... Does she have double cast? She does, but she needs the full overdrive as well, so... I don't know, it doesn't seem worth it. We just have to wait it out until Lulu can finish this off. It missed? Oh god, my favourite. Pbirdman, please change the mechanics so that Chocobo Feather or like Light Curtain or whatever never misses. I don't want to see it miss. It's wasting my time. Thank you for that. So my Reflector's been dispelled too, unfortunately. So it's a nice turn wasted here. Yep. I have nothing. Yeah, it's just when you don't have double cast, the flare is there's just so much delay. But there's not too much you can do. Gonna try and speed things up as best I can. Okay. Just wait. Right, Lulu can go again. Not having a second break damage limit magic user is just really making things take longer here, but what can you do? What happens if I use less gems, just to try and help along, you know? Just help things along a little. Hey, that's something. Let's just toss these. This is going to take me another half an hour. At least I got it. I do not have a single elemental protection. It's ridiculous. It's not good. Just keep going. At least these are like an extra 80,000 damage overall. Maybe 90. Yep, as soon as you go down to flare, you're almost trading turns 1 for 1. It seems like the focus didn't reduce the damage though, from what I noticed. That's a little bit weird. I'm pretty sure that these guys have got like 5 times focus, but it hasn't made a difference to how much damage it's doing. Which is not cool. Wait a minute. Oh. Yeah. Go back to that. Every little helps. I think this is enough, you know. Yeah, okay. Bring some more pain. I feel like we're closing in on around 1 million damage, maybe. Even that might be optimistic. Yeah, it probably is. Wow, Riku doesn't even have Shell right now? Shit. Can't have that. Okay, here we go. That's good. She's more than equal to that. I'm just going to haste up in case it reduces the chances of a Dispel. I don't think it probably does, but I don't need, especially when it uses Flare. Look at those turns. That's definitely big. Let's get some, well, not much more, but a little bit more MP back. Double cast. I mean, at least we can get an extra 20,000 out of this every time. It's a shame it has to be done this way, but there's not too much more you can do, really. I'm a little bit paranoid, I'm just going to double check. Shall Reflect Haste. Okay, good. I mean, Reflect shouldn't wear off, but I don't know, just... I think because it wears off in Final Fantasy 6, I've been playing most recently, I'm just paranoid that it will, and I'll kill myself, which I don't want to do. That's pretty perfect. I'm keeping trust in here. Almost. So I just got to chip away here. The only trouble is once Yuna starts using Flare as well, the turns really start. If you don't have haste on everyone, the turns really start favouring Jumbo Flan. So it's something we've got to be wary of. But we've got another double cast. No, let's double cast. So this one, the battles where like vanilla double cast would have been so much better, but Jumbo Flan was always an arsehole. He was an arsehole in vanilla as well, one of the most annoying bosses to defeat in the monster arena. Even when you had max stats, just because of that physical immunity. Just double check everything again. Ooh, mental break. What? That's nasty. Well, let's see it in action. Yeah, I mean, it's weird. They've got mental break, but they're taking no more damage than they did before. Okay. Of course. So I think after every, like, 2 or 3 of Jumbo Flan's turns, I can get an overdrive with Lulu, so that's not too bad. Because Riku charges sufficiently to be able to entrust and get us another overdrive. But you're seeing healing waters and chocobo items, they just go fast, boy. Shit's different in the Pbirdman mod. everyone seems to have what they need. I'll just toss ethers while I wait. I'm not going to use flare with Yuna as well. I want to have complete control over the turns, and I don't want to give anything away foolishly in that sense. Fine. Shouldn't be a problem. Nothing an Owlbear potion can't fix. Okay, get ourselves another flare, that's nice. And then hopefully we get an overdrive on the next one too. So we're keeping them flowing, but it's a process. Oh no. That ain't good. I mean, we're fast enough to keep up with this. We can rebuff. It's not the end of the world. But I guess the Dispel removes the mental breaks as well, which is nice. What? Oh, I used a star grenade instead of a star curtain. What the hell? It's been a long battle, man. It's been one of those. This is a new item. Obviously my head, after playing for 15 years, is still stuck on like star curtains and not star grenades. And when you sort it, they end up next to each other. Look at that. Star grenades. The longer the battle goes, the more the odds of you doing stupid shit like that. Okay, full overdrive coming. I would spell again. What? Yeah, just wasting my time. I'm going to use a Chocobo Wing anyway here, just to be safe. If it's going to use the spell again, it can. It's done it twice in a row, so it feels unlikely. Maybe it runs through like a certain number of... But then why would it use it twice in a row? I don't know. Sometimes the mechanics behind certain things is pretty impossible to tell what it is. Until you look it up, or you do more extensive testing. Just worried that it's going to launch off some kind of random Ultima, so I'm just trying to be careful. So I got close to getting an overdrive and I used Dispel twice in a row. Like the arsehole that he is. Okay. So... I'll toss another ether while I wait. Riku's the one most vulnerable to that, and I think even she survives it, so it should be fine. Keep feeding Lulu. It's one turn away. Yeah, after the flare we just get so many turns. Okay, once again, Lulu's the only one with haste, so that's fine. Just wait for it. Yeah, I mean, this could work. The more it uses flare, the better it is for me. Keep pumping those ethers. Alright, here we go. Double cast. And I think I'll entrust with Riku as well. So it's almost like a double overdrive. Okay, it's pretty good going. Unfortunately, the entrust is not going to be enough, I think. It's going to just fall short. It would have been nice, though. Yep. Fortunately. Drain, interesting. Oh, it's going to use it on everybody. Okay, fine. It's not going to be enough to change the outcome of this situation. But Lulu still didn't get an overdrive. I'm just going to entrust again. This tiny bit is all that she needs. Okay. Here we go. Maybe because it's using Drain, it means like we're getting close. Okay. Let's just make sure we're fully healed. Okay. Hasn't used the elemental spells for a while now. Let's get that turbo ether. I think I'm going to entrust with Yuna if she's got it this time. She doesn't. Unfortunate. Going to entrust with Waka. Just trying to speed things up as best I can here. Back. Oh no, sorry, my bad. It's another one of those. Only 8,000 though, that's fine. Aha, here we go. So yes, it's definitely in a new phase now. Let's see how we do. We've all got Shell, for starters. If this ultimate's too powerful for us, then I'm forced to move on anyway, but it's not, thankfully. But I have to make sure I have Shell pretty much at all times. I wonder if Dispel's still going to be a thing. So I'll have to check it more regularly that I've got all of my statuses. That I've got Shell. It's definitely helping overdrive wise though. Still looking good. Still looking good. Yeah, okay. Ultimate becoming a regularity now. Just thinking, is there anything else it has up its sleeve? Oh, what, her shell went? Is that why? Weird. In any case, we'll keep doing what we're doing. Double cast. I mean, it must have been very unlucky for the shell to disappear on that exact turn, but fine. I think with Lulu and Yuna there, provided I've got shell on at least one of them, I don't think I'm going to be killed by any one spell or move. Shell, shell. Let me try tossing a Chocobo Wing, let's see if Dispel's still a thing. I feel like at this stage it maybe stops using it. Okay. Right. Just gonna give one focus, let's see what happens when Ultima's used with one focus. Let's see if I can hold on here for the finish. Ooh, 9,700. Yeesh. But the good news is that if it doesn't cast Dispel anymore, I should be able to damage it more quickly, hopefully. I really need to teach more characters focus, I think. It's definitely going to help. But I have to be extremely vigilant about Shell. Trust. I think I'll use one more focus with Lulu. We've got to eliminate the risk of random variants killing her, and then we should be okay. One more for absolute safety. But you've seen them Turbo Ether start to go as well. Again, let me just check. I have to just keep checking. There's not much else I can do. As long as everyone's got a shell, we're good. Keep chipping away. And here we go again. Oh no. The reflect did wear off. It must last for like 99 turns or something. That's the only thing I can imagine. It's one thing I didn't check for. That's a bummer. Yeah. That is a bummer. It's not a problem, it just drags things out again. Because there's no Dispel anymore, we can get up to speed. She only took 2,900 damage, by the way. That's insane. Okay, here we go again. Here we go again. The only trouble is that flares are going to do less damage now, so I do need focus again. Star Curtain. Okay, well Yuna's shell is gone, which doesn't help. Yeah, there's no reflect yet. Yeah, it's just become pure Ultima stage now. We're still fine. Just a mini setback. I guess, unless it's auto reflect, it probably runs out after 99 turns in the vanilla as well. But the battle's gone on so long, I just couldn't consider it. I'm still going to focus a few times here. Just to really guarantee things. It's worth the time. I mean, this is a big battle. Getting rid of Jumbo Flan in the monster arena is always a little bit of a milestone, so... I'm happy to take the extra time to do it right. Okay. Right. That's better. Let's go again. Back to business. As soon as that camera angle just changed to like the non-reflect one, I was like, shite. I knew it was going to happen eventually. That's what I was paranoid about earlier on. It's so rare that you cast reflect and the battle lasts long enough for it to wear off naturally that it's just almost never a thing. I mean, if you had your Celestials, you'd have Yuna doing some decent damage here too, but it's just not possible. Literally got to check after every turn. I just want to see if Waka can survive. He'll charge overdrives more, and he's also able to use Entrust, so it could be better. Let's just see how we do. His magic defense is atrocious, so it's unlikely, but it's worth a try. At least he'll charge the overdrive. We can always use Waka as like a whipping boy here, and just have Riku and Lulu surviving, and Waka taking the big damage every time to charge the overdrive. So I think that's what I'm going to do. It'll make my life easier. So the goal is for every single Ultima to try and get a double cast. Then we'll speed things up. Yeah, so because of Ultima, the shell's running out fairly quickly, but I only need to use it on Riku. We're going to allow Waka to feel the full force. So hopefully if this goes right, then we won't need to use Entrust again. Basically, that's the deal. Shell Reflect, Shell Reflect. She has lost her haste. There's always something wearing off. Okay. So we should be taking around 20,000 damage here. And if that happens, let's see how much overdrive Lulu gets. Not quite enough. But at least I can guarantee it by entrusting every turn, pretty much. Not long left to go now, surely. Hopefully, like, no more than 10 minutes. Which, by Monster Arena battle standards, is nothing. The time dilation is real. Oh, we did it. Okay, there we go. Ooh. Took a very long time, but Lulu, as it is in the vanilla, is the star of the show. Well, you see the Anima or Riku usually, but that's how hard you got to work to get yourself some Strength Spheres and a Magic Sphere. Ooh, finally seeing some Purple Spheres pop up is nice, though. That is what I'm talking about. Okay. Now we're starting to notice the item drain, though. How many Chocobo Wings did I use? Yeah. Okay, we're still doing alright. We can still have a few more battles, I think. Maybe a couple more before I need to farm again. So it's not all bad.